today we'll look at what we call it as quasi-isotropic laminates. So we have seen many types of laminates, that is cross ply, then symmetric, balanced, all these. Okay. So there is another type of laminate which is called as quasi-isotropic laminate. What do you mean quasi? What is the meaning of this term?
Quasi means infinitely small.
Infinitely small. Any other meaning?
It will be having isotropic property.
It will be having.
Only one, sir. All the element contains in one.
All the elements?
Contains in one plane or quasi-isotropic process.
Okay. See here, quasi means the dictionary meaning, if I have to take it out, apparently but not really, seemingly, okay, being partly or almost. That's the meaning of the quasi as per the dictionary. So quasi-isotropic means it's almost isotropic but not exactly. Okay, that's the meaning from this. So quasi-isotropic means it's almost like an isotropic, but not actually like a isotropic. Okay. So why are we looking at isotropic? Why do we want isotropic? Because we want uniform strength and stiffness in all directions. So that's why we look at quasi-isotropic laminates. Here, the main problem with the composites is the stiffness and strength varies in different directions, and that's why we look at, we want something, we want to have a composite, but we want it to behave like isotropic. Okay, so that is what we want. And this type of laminates will help in meeting some of the requirements, not exactly isotropic, but something like almost like an isotropic material. Okay, so for this, to understand this, we have to look at a few things which we have discussed previously. Like, for example, this is a reduced stiffness matrix. You can calculate this way as well, or what you usually do is you calculate the compliance matrix using the formulas, and then take the inverse, you get the reduced stiffness matrix. Or directly, if you want to find the reduced stiffness matrix, you can use these formulas to find the reduced stiffness matrix. This is not a Q bar, this is Q. Okay, so this is Q. Now, how will this look for a isotropic material? So, how will this look for an isotropic material? This will be E1 will be E. Okay, will be just E. Then nu12 will be equal to nu21. Okay, there is only one Poisson's ratio for isotropic material. So this will be 1 minus nu square. Okay, and then nu21 will be just nu, and E1 will be just E. 1 minus nu square 0. Then nu E divided by 1 minus nu square E divided by 1 minus nu square 0, 0, 0, and this will be G12. Instead of writing G12, I can write G. Okay, I can write G, and instead of G, I can write E is equal to 2G into 1 plus nu. So G is equal to Since it's an isotropic material for which I am writing, so I can use this formula. G is equal to E divided by 2 into 1 plus nu. Okay, so I can write here as E divided by 2 into 1 plus nu. Okay, so why are we doing this? I'll tell you. Now we are supposed to discuss about quasi-isotropic laminates. Now, how do you describe a laminate? By this, by its characteristics of the laminate? It's with the A, B, and D matrix. Okay, A, B, D matrix. Now, is this A, B, and D only applicable for composites, or is it there for isotropic materials as well? Can you write ABD matrix for isotropic material? What will be the B matrix for isotropic material? Can anybody guess? Suppose a metal isotropic material you take, what will be the B matrix? Can somebody guess? Yeah. Hello. Can somebody tell me what will be the B matrix for isotropic material?
Zero, sir.
Zero. How?
Sir, even symmetric matrix takes this takes equal loading at equal loading. So
it is not about loading. We don't talk about loading. We talk about stiffness. Okay. So the B matrix, as you said, yeah, you are right. If the laminate is symmetric, okay, if the laminate is symmetric, then the B matrix is 0. Okay, so if you consider a metal plate or something, if you take the mid plane, then the properties over here is same as properties below that, correct? Because it's isotropic. So the B matrix will be 0 only. Okay. What about A matrix? A matrix, for calculating A matrix, what did we do? We use the formula, that is the transform reduced stiffness matrix multiplied by the, this is what will this give? HK minus 1 will give you
Thickness of the layer.
Thickness. Okay. So Q bar multiplied by thickness is what you need to do to get the A matrix. So we'll do this for a isotropic material. Okay. We'll do it for a isotropic material now. Now, this is Q. Okay. There's no Q bar for isotropic material because it's all isotropic. So Q is equal to Q bar. Okay. So I just have to multiply with T with this matrix, for this matrix here. This is for isotropic. If I just multiply with T, what will I get? I'll get the, if I multiply this matrix with the T, what will I get? I'll get A matrix, correct? Yes or no? Yeah. Any questions?
Sir, can you explain it again, sir?
Yeah. See, this is Q bar. Okay. Multiplied by the thickness, summation of all the layers. This is for the composite laminate. Okay. Now, for an isotropic material, there is nothing like Q bar. Okay. Q bar is equal to Q. Okay. Here you have to just put Q. Okay. And then multiply with the thickness. Then you should get A matrix. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thickness,
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
take the total thickness of the plate, whatever you are considering the metal plate. Okay, I'm talking about isotropic material. So take a metal plate, take its thickness, take its reduced stiffness matrix. Okay, multiply with the thickness, you should get the A matrix. So here I have written the Q matrix for isotropic material. Okay. Now I'll just have to multiply the thickness. I just have to multiply the thickness. So thickness T, T and T. Okay. So this becomes A matrix. Okay. This becomes A matrix now. Now what you see here, this is A11, A12, A16, A21, A22, A26, A61, A62 and A66. Okay. Now by looking at these two, okay, A11 is equal to A22. Because I have multiplied with thickness, it's A matrix now. Okay. This is A11, this whole term. And this term is A22. It is same. A11 is equal to A22. Okay.
A12 is equals to A2.
Yeah, A12 is equal to A21, that is there. And then there is one more thing, A16 is equal to A26, which is 0. Okay. And then there is one more relation which is possible here. I'll take A11 minus A12. Okay. A11 minus A12. This is A11 minus A12. Okay. So that will give me ET into 1 minus nu divided by 1 minus nu square. Okay. I'll just take a new slide. ET into 1 minus nu divided by 1 minus nu square is nothing but what? A
into 1 plus
1 minus A12. Okay. This is what we took, right? A1.
ET by 1.
Yeah, A11 minus A12. Okay. That is what I've taken now. Now this can be written as ET into 1 minus nu divided by 1 minus nu square. I can write it as 1 minus nu into 1 plus nu. A plus B into A minus B is A square minus B square. Okay. So I'll cancel this out. I'll be left with ET divided by 1 plus nu. Okay. A11 minus A12 is ET divided by 1 plus nu. Now here, if you see what is A66, it is ET divided by 2 into 1 plus nu. Okay. ET divided by 2 into 1 plus nu. So what will be A11 minus A12? I can write it as 2 times A66. I can write it as 2 times A66.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the relation. Okay. A11 minus A12 can be written as 2 times A66 because A11 minus A12 is ET divided by 1 plus nu and A66 is ET divided by 2 into 1 plus nu. Okay. This we got from this one. E is equal to 2G into 1 plus nu. This you have studied from mechanics of materials course and all those. Okay. So I can write it like this. So what all we got? We got A11 is equal to A22. Okay. And A16 is equal to A26 is equal to 0. And A11 minus A12 is equal to 2 times A66. Okay. So this is the characteristic of the isotropic material. Okay. If a composite laminate has an A matrix like this, okay, if a composite laminate has an A matrix like this, then we can say that the composite laminate is quasi-isotropic. Okay. Why can't we say isotropic? Because the B matrix and D matrix may differ. Okay. B and D may be different compared to isotropic material. Okay, but only the A matrix we are looking at, okay, which is about the extension shear coupling. Okay, so that matrix, if that matrix has this kind of a requirement, that is, if it's meeting this requirement, then we can say that when you apply extensional stresses, that is in plane loads. Okay, I'm talking about in plane loads. What do you mean by in plane loads? That is, you don't apply any bending. Okay, bending is out of plane. Okay, in plane means it's only the tension or compression. Okay, so in plane, if you apply any load, then it behaves like, the laminate behaves like isotropic if this is what the situation in a matrix of a composite laminate. Okay, this is for isotropic we have got. If the same condition is meeting in a composite laminate, then we can say that A matrix is same for a composite laminate and a isotropic material. Okay, B and D may be different, but the in-plane loads, when you apply, then you get the A matrix to be same like isotropic material. So we can say that the material is behaving like quasi-isotropic, because it may have the B and D matrix different. We don't call it as isotropic material. Okay, for isotropic material, to call a composite material as isotropic, you should have A, B and D behaving like isotropic material. Okay, in this case what we are saying is only A matrix behaves like isotropic. Okay, only A matrix behaves like isotropic. B and D doesn't behave like isotropic, so it is quasi-isotropic material. Now we will see what kind of fiber orientation, if we have, we meet these conditions where A11 is equal to A22, A16 is equal to A26, and A11 minus A12 will give you 2 times A66. These are the conditions that we need to meet if we have to call it as quasi-isotropic. Okay. Any questions so far? Any questions? Okay. Now we will look at a composite laminate which will actually do that. Okay. What happened? Okay. Fine. Yeah. Now we will take a laminate which is 0, 60, minus 60. Okay. 0, 60 and minus 60 is the laminate which I'm taking. Okay. Now we will calculate the ABD matrix for this. Okay. I should have used MATLAB, but I'll use this for now. Okay. So this is carbon epoxy, 181 GPa, 10.3 GPa, and then this is 7.7. This is 0.28 thickness. I'll say as 0.5 mm. Then next, so here, this is the A matrix. Okay. So here what we have got is the conditions need to be met are, the conditions that need to be met are, sorry, A11 should be equal to A22. Okay. A16 must be equal to A26 must be equal to 0, and then A11 minus A12 is 2 times A66. Okay, A11 is equal to A22. Okay, A16 and A26 are 0. What about this? Can you check this? 114.9 minus 33.51 is equal to
81.39.
2 times of 40.72. Correct? It's almost meeting the condition. Okay, you said 80 something, right? So that's what 40 into 2. Okay, so can we call this as a quasi-isotropic laminate?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we can call this as quasi-isotropic laminate because it's the same kind of a behavior what we saw in a isotropic material. Okay, so A matrix is behaving like isotropic. What would B matrix? What about B matrix?
It's varying, sir.
It's varying. Okay, it's not 0. For isotropic material,
Yes.
B matrix must have been 0. Okay, so B matrix is not 0, and you see D16 and D26 is not 0. So there is coupling, bent twist coupling is there. So B matrix is not 0. It's not isotropic. So only this matrix is behaving like isotropic. Hence the name quasi-isotropic laminate. Okay, so this type of orientation that is 0, 60, minus 60 is giving a quasi-isotropic laminate behavior. That is for inclined loads. Okay, it works like a isotropic material, but if you are giving some bending loads or something, then it will not work like a isotropic material. Now, how do we know which laminate behaves like isotropic? Okay, so just we took an example of 0, 60, minus 60, and we found that it is like isotropic. Okay, quasi-isotropic. Okay, so now we'll look at some of the conditions where if those conditions are met, then it behaves like we get the orientations. How do you know which orientations of laminates will give the quasi-isotropic? Okay, so the number of layers, the conditions are these: the number of layers must be greater than or equal to 3. Okay, the laminate which you make of, okay, the number of layers must be greater than or equal to 3. And then each layer must be of same material. Okay, if you are using carbon fiber and epoxy, use the same for the whole thing. Okay, thickness must be same. Thickness of layers must be same. Okay, and then orientation of layers should be spaced by an angle equaling 180 by n degrees. Okay, this is the orientation of layers should be spaced by an angle. Meaning, if you are using 3 layers, how much is 180 by 3? 60. Okay.
60.
Okay. So it can have 0, 60, and 120 degrees. Okay. 180 by 3 is 60 degree. This is the angle here. Orientation of layers should be spaced by an angle equaling the 180 by n degrees. Okay, or if you have to write in radians, it is pi by n radians. Okay, both are same. Now 0, 60, 120. How do you write this 120? Can we write it as 0, 60 minus 60?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is what we did when we took the laminate here. Okay, 0, 60 minus 60. Okay, now we'll try for 180 by 4. Okay, 180 by 4 is how much? 45 degree. Okay, so what we'll do, 0, 45, 90, and then what?
Minus 45.
Minus 45. Okay, so we'll check for this, 0, 45, 90, minus 45. Okay, 0, 45, 90, minus 45. So we'll just check this. So I'll just give that 0, 45, 90, and then minus 45. Okay, next. And then material name, do something 181, 10.3. I hope you understand all these 181, what are these things, right? Okay, so there shouldn't be any confusion in these things. This is say 0.5 mm. Okay, next. And then calculating the EBD matrix. Okay, so A11 is equal to A22. Okay, and then what else? A16 and A26 are 0. A12 minus A11 minus A12. Can you check this? Is it 2 times of this?
Yes, sir. 54.3.
Okay, so
Yes.
okay, fine. So this is how you design a quasi-isotropic laminate. Okay, so it must be spaced. The fiber orientations must be spaced at an angle of 180 divided by n degrees. Okay, but n must be greater than or equal to 3. You don't take it as 2 or 1. Okay, it must be greater than or equal to 3, and each layer must be of same material. Thickness of layers must be same, and 180 by n degrees must be the spacing between each angle. Okay, the layers. And then if it is 3 layers, then it will be 0, 60, 120. 120 can be written as minus 60. And in this case, it is 0, 45, 90, and 135. 135 can be written as minus 45. Okay, so this is how you come up with a quasi-isotropic laminate, which behaves like isotropic material for the in-plane conditions, in-plane loads. But when it comes to bending and all, it doesn't behave like isotropic, because you see this is not, okay, and this is also not. Okay, so yeah. So suppose I want to change something over here. while defining this laminate 0, 45, 90 minus 45, I take this as symmetric. Okay, I take this as symmetric, and then go for the calculations. Again, I'll have to enter this. So when we do that, you see this A11 is still equal to A12, A16 and A26 is 0, and A11 minus A12 is still 2 times of this. Okay, and then B matrix is 0. Okay, only the D matrix is a problem. D16 and D26 is not 0, but you have overcome 2 things now. It is a quasi-isotropic laminate having B matrix 0. Okay, so you have avoided another type of coupling there. Okay, so this is also like isotropic, and this is also like isotropic, except for the D matrix. Okay, so what did you do? You just took the symmetric of this 0, 45, 90 minus 45 symmetric. First it was just 0, 45, 90 minus 45, but when you took it as symmetric, the B matrix became 0, and A matrix still behaves like quasi-isotropic. Okay, do you get this point? Do you get this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is
But in
how,
symmetry, after minus 45, one more minus 45 will come, sir.
what? One second. Tell me.
In symmetry, after the minus 45, it will again repeat itself. And
Yes.
angle.
Yes. Difference in angle is only for this thing.
Okay.
Okay. So you can have a symmetric. It will be minus 45, 90, 45, 0. And also where it is, it doesn't matter. You can have 0, minus 45, 45 somewhere else. Okay. So only the orientations matter. Exactly, the sequence doesn't matter here in A matrix. For A matrix, it doesn't matter because
Okay.
it's multiplying with the thickness. Okay, so it doesn't matter. The sequence doesn't matter for A matrix. So that's why you don't have any problem there. But you can't have 30 degree or 60 degree here. Okay, so it is 180 divided by 4 is what we have done. So 0, 45, 90 minus 45. Again, the same thing will repeat. Minus 45, 90, 45, 0. That is a total laminate. And you will still have the A matrix like a quasi-isotropic. So that's why we call it as quasi-isotropic. And B matrix is like isotropic since all the elements are 0. And only the problem is with the D matrix. So almost like isotropic, but can't call it as isotropic. Okay, so this is what is mostly people look for quasi-isotropic whenever they want to somewhat get the metal behavior. So isotropic behavior, they go for quasi-isotropic laminate.